Hello everyone and welcome back to AustinPlays Gaming, where today we are doing a bit of an explanation video, where today we are talking about Jedi, or Star Wars Jedi 3. Obviously with Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order introducing us to the character Cal Kestis, and Star Wars Jedi Survivor expanding both his abilities and his story, one final chapter is expected to complete this full trilogy. But Respawn Entertainment has already built one of the most successful Star Wars game series in recent memory, but the first game was about the survival and the second one was about hope and rebuilding the whole of the Jedi. Or at least trying to. So the third game has the opportunity to deliver something even greater. But that raises one very key question. What should Cal Kestis' Jedi or Star Wars Jedi 3 actually consist of? So without further ado, let's get into it. First of all, you need a story that finishes Cal's journey, and obviously I'm not talking about like killing him or anything, but he needs to have a satisfying ending, and so does most trilogies. Not necessarily a happy ending, obviously that can also play into it, but one that feels earned. Throughout both of the games, Cal is transformed from a frightened Padawan hiding from the Empire into a confident Jedi Knight willing to make the impossible decisions. But the third game shouldn't undo that development, but instead it should challenge everything Cal has actually learned. His relationship with Merrin, his responsibility with Kata and his leadership, and perhaps most importantly, his relationship with the Force itself. Instead of introducing another galaxy-ending threat, I think the story should remain very personal to Cal. The Empire should still be dangerous, but Cal's greatest battle should be deciding what kind of Jedi he actually wants to be, but also maybe make it a familiar character as well. Now, Tanalor is a big part of Jedi Survivor, and I think one of the biggest revelations in Jedi Survivor was the whole getting to Tanalor. But after expanding basically an entire game searching for it, players finally reached the mysterious world beyond the Cabal Abyss. Now that Cal, Merrin, Grease, and Kata have arrived safely, Jedi 3 needs to make the destination a bit more meaningful. Maybe at a Jedi temple, like Dagan Gera's intended. But players should also be able to explore settlements, construct safe zones, meet Force-sensitive refugees as well, but also watch the community grow throughout the game. And I think that's why they had a lot of those bar and saloon scenes in Jedi Survivor. Now, instead of simply acting as another planet, Tanalor should feel like a home to Cal, finally, that you spent years searching for. Is it a success or a failure, or should it directly affect the story? Another thing is planet exploration. Respawn created some fantastic worlds in the previous games, but Jedi 3 could make explorations even deeper and more meaningful. But imagine planets changing over time, imperial occupations become stronger, Mustafar, wildlife migrating, new settlements appearing, side quests evolving, and I think instead of revisiting planets just to unlock previously inaccessible areas, returning should reveal entirely new situations. I definitely think players should feel like the galaxy continues on forward even while Cal is away, and that would be an exploration that feels more alive. You could also improve the combat system, always being the strongest part of the series, but there's still room for improvement. Lightsaber stances could be more customizable. Instead of selecting two stances, players can create their own combat loadouts, custom combo chains, advanced new Force powered finishers. And then, obviously, Imperial Purge Troopers, Bounty Hunters, Dark Side Force users, and Dangerous Wildlife should all require different strategies as well. The goal shouldn't be making the enemies a bit stronger and impossible to kill. I think it should be about making them more intelligent and making the player think. Now, this is coming from someone that's currently playing Jedi Fallen Order as a series on this channel. I somewhat take away from that. If you're say my brother, yeah, he'll enjoy that. If you're like me, you will not. Deeper Force abilities, I think, is another thing that people were asking for a lot, because as Cal's Force abilities do grow, I think rather than simply unlocking bigger attacks, Jedi 3 could also allow players to combine Force abilities creatively, a bit more freedom for the players. But imagine freezing enemies before pulling them towards you, using Force lift to create environmental puzzles. That would be so helpful in the first game. I think the Force should feel like a true extension of the player's imagination. You can give them a bit more freedom with that, and it's not just another combat ability. I think there also needs to be a bit more player choice. One feature fans that have consistently requested is greater player freedom, and as I've just said. But I think make it more meaningful for decisions for the players, deciding how Cal approaches certain missions, when he can do certain missions, selecting companions for different objectives, or even determining how openly Cal embraces the Jedi traditions. Now, there have been speculations that this one will be very open world, but that would be every playthrough. It would make every playthrough feel very slightly different, which I think would be very good to cancel out this trilogy. Not cancel out, but end the trilogy. I think in this game you need to add in obviously maybe one more stronger companion gameplay, because obviously we have to remember Cal has never been fought alone for very long. BD1, Merrin, Bode, Seer, Cordova, Grease, each companion has played a very important role in his journey. But Jedi 3 I think should allow companions to participate more frequently, but imagine choosing which allies join certain missions. I think that would be very unique. And obviously you got Merrin's magical traversal shite, and then future companions could obviously provide range support, stealth opportunities, or puzzle solving skills. I think each of them could be tailored to different characters. Also, I don't want the Empire to be so bad to the point where you can't kill them, but I think the Empire does need to feel a bit more dangerous, not rather than stormtroopers just rolling up on you every 5 seconds. But rather than simply appearing during scripted encounters, I think Imperial patrols could obviously actively search for Cal across multiple planets. I mean, they can already do, but obviously you could have unexpected aspects, Star Destroyers, Inquisitors, and obviously new Imperial Force users. That would be very cool to throw obviously long-time fans off, and I think this would definitely show the height of the Empire's power, and also it kind of give the players a bit of a surprise. Not me, I don't like that, but I imagine some people that have played both games back to back or something like that, they will enjoy that. Coming back to the open world thing, I think it should give more players more to do, because beyond the main story, Jedi I think 3 should offer activities that encourage exploration, hidden temples, maybe lightsaber tournaments, bounty hunting missions, and obviously maybe force trials as well. I think rare collectibles that unlock meaningful upgrades rather than simply cosmetic rewards would also be alongside that, and would do very well. And it's about the world that you are you are exploring, not just about the completion of the story. I mean, the games do a good job at customization regardless, but you could also add in obviously more hairstyles, lightsaber components, but I don't think that's a major concern for people, so I'm gonna just basically bypass that. But the most important part is that this needs to be the perfect ending. Eventually, every story must come to an end. Whatever happens to Cal Kestis, the ending needs to respect everything players have experienced over the several years of these games. It doesn't necessarily have to be a massive battle against the Emperor or Darth Vader, but sometimes the most memorable endings are more personal. Maybe Cal successfully builds a safe future. He sacrifices everything. He chooses a path no Jedi has ever taken before. I think it depends on whatever direction they really want to go with, but it should feel like the natural conclusion to the journey that all began on Baraka in the first one. So that's what they should do. If you have any specific characters that you would want to see in this, do let me know. Maul is the one I want to see in this. I think he would be good. Crime syndicates I think would be a good interaction with Cal Kestis, because that's something we haven't seen. But that's just from me. But without further ado, folks, that's the end of today's video. I do hope you all enjoyed it, and if you did, please leave a like and subscribe, and comment what you would like to see on the channel. But I hope you have an amazing day as always, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye, folks. Yeah.